So today we have Team Supertramp, and Brandon didn't have a seat. Well, he does have a seat, but he's not sitting with us. So we're doing something we've never done before. We are doing commentary on the videos that we create because there's always a story to tell. All right, so the way this is going to work, this is all new for us, but we want this to also be a super informative process. We want you guys to learn from our mistakes so you don't have to make them down the road. So we're going to hit play right now. We're going to watch this as a team, and then we're going to stop and talk about it as it progresses. Here we go.
What a great color shot, by the way. Wow.
Takes into the color correction on the shot. He's very proud of it. And pause. Okay, we're not going to be pausing constantly because that's going to get super annoying. This first shot, was every one of you guys here for this?
Zane wasn't.
Okay, Zane wasn't, so Zane has no recollection of this shot. This was filming for a Mad Max video. This was a simple stunt. All the cars were supposed to just go forward, but Creighton Baird, who likes to kind of do his own thing a lot of the time, shout out to our boy Creighton, he decided without telling anybody here that he was going to jump from one car to another car, and he decided to do that when there was a big bush like going out their way. So as Creighton jumped, what happened, guys?
He thought there was a foot pedal on the cart that he was jumping onto, plus he had a paintball gun in one of his hands. So he thinks, I'm going to jump, there's nowhere to stand, plus I only have one hand, and then his leg got caught under the one tire. And it's clear to see.
I think the other driver even got scared and like saw Creighton coming, and like you can see in the video they were close together when Creighton starts to jump, but then he starts to like turn away from him. Just like the perfect storm for Creighton to
and
get
he like
over.
hits the ground and he's like, oh, and then sucks under the tire. And you hear the bones crunching. And
You hear?
We didn't add audio to that.
no,
That
true
happened.
audio.
Wait, was it really? I thought it was
We were
fake.
like 400 yards away.
Remember when I was editing it, you're like, hey, make sure we
Add some sounds.
add
okay.
some sounds.
You never know what's real and what's not. The sounds you hear in this video, those are completely fake because sound
Some of
effects help sell.
Because we were on the 800, so this is like...
Yeah, we're super
a
far
mile
away.
Played in slow motion like that, seeing the car go up and his gun go flying is awesome.
So like he's going down, he's going
He's
down.
done. Leg gets under, and then watch
And-
the go-kart.
You actually see the whole batch grade go up. And then you see pure panic on half the faces.
I love it. I love his. He just watched the whole thing.
He's cringing.
Corbett. Shout out to Corbett.
Shout out to our boy Corbett. So yeah, that was very scary, and we didn't know exactly what got ran over of his body. So I don't remember. I think they kept on going for a couple seconds, and they stopped, and then we all kind of rushed out to Creighton, and we were like, we just lost one of our friends. And he had blood, like, because he had a nose, was it a nose ring?
Yeah, something about his
Yeah.
nose ring.
Because that got like altered, so there was like blood all over his face. So we thought he got like partially ran over on his head, but that wasn't the case. It was just his leg, correct?
Yeah, it's just his leg.
But
And
somehow,
he ends up radioing to you, and you're like, hey, I don't want to go anymore. Like, we got to make sure Creighton's okay. And he gets on the radio right away. Guys, I've taken worse hits on the tennis court. Let's go again.
Creighton's always hardcore. He could break every bone in his body, and he's like, keep on going on. So
That's why we love him.
hardcore. Yeah, we do love him without question. So we're gonna keep on going. But that's one little story. I mean, that didn't even make the main cut because it didn't tell the story we wanted to tell. It was almost distracting because we wanted him as the main henchman. But after that, Creighton was like done for the day, so we couldn't really use him on any more shots for the day, which was a big bummer. But we made the show. The show must go on.
Getting the blood cleaned off his face. Again.
We were more
So-
worried about the makeup.
Nice.
So even though this is a fail video, know that no one got hurt on the making of this video. Said no one ever. Okay, I think I want to talk about this video. I want someone here to talk
Yeah,
about this
I'm
video.
going to talk about a shot in this video because this
Oh,
is one of
man.
the.
People asked about the tables. They're like, who's the idiot that put tables out?
Like, it helped.
Yeah, because they were going to go into what happened first is we didn't have tables, and you'll notice that there's actually a soft blow-up mattress right before that to help.
It's kind of
soft.
Pillow light mattress.
But what happened is they were flying into a bed of rocks in a stream and getting significantly more cut up. So it was kind of like, would you rather hit tables and blow up mattresses or go right into a stream and get all cut up and bloody?
And I was actually the first one
Yeah, Ty was.
to do it, other than the guy that lived there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he held on.
Uh-huh.
I'm the first one that let go, and there was no tables. I went straight into the river on my back. Luckily, I didn't get that hurt.
No.
Zane wasn't rolling audio.
No, I wasn't. Yeah.
You know, you weren't.
No, I was
It
going
was
to say I
terrible.
wasn't. Yeah, yeah.
So we didn't get to use it.
The way we tell if we're going to keep on doing the stunt is if the people do the stunt and they come out of it laughing. So even if it looks painful, like these people were walking out of the streams laughing, like having a
And
good
doing
time.
it again.
It
And
really
do it
wasn't
again.
that bad.
No one stopped doing it for once they did it. I was like, I'm not going to do it personally because I was filming. But everyone else was like, they do it once. They're like, okay, I want to go again, like right away. So even though some of these look painful, a lot of that has to do with the sound effects and just a really clever editing that Tyson edited this video. So
Make it look worse than it is.
fake it till you make it and play.
But that's pretty bad. That's really bad.
I'm gonna go back to this one too because Creighton he likes to do science lessons. You guys know the story on this? You guys know the story on this?
He's gonna let us keep that.
Creighton was like, "What happens if you go down a zip line and put a big fat knot in it? What happens to your body physically?" So you'll look right
speaking.
here. We put a big knot in the rope because Creighton wanted to see what would happen to his body going full speed at a knot, and this is exactly what happens.
Yep. Science always wins.
So that's the one thing we love about Creighton. He loves just seeing what if we do this. And a lot of our videos are like, what if we did this? And in this case, though, right here, you see a guy. A lot of people thought this guy was falling to the death, but you'll notice now that we're going frame by frame, he clearly has a bungee rope. This is from our Grease video. And this one was, I mean, everything we do, we try and make it as safe as humanly possible to bring on the right people. Because these two were on it. And tell us, did anyone get hurt on this one?
No.
This was very safe. And this was just the most uncoordinated fall we had. And it's like the only shot from the video because it was so safe. So this is what we used.
And we wanted to try and show as many of our old videos as possible within the last couple of years. So that's why we included this. Because when I saw this video, because I knew exactly what it was, I didn't think this was really even a fail. So I was surprised by how many people commented saying, did that guy die? And the truth is, like, to us, because we know exactly what happened and that it was perfectly safe, it kind of shows, safety first, Team Supertramp. New Zealand crashes.
Yeah. Belly flop.
Oh,
All right, let's talk about this
that was a
one.
little dangerous.
This was so sketchy. Not only was it a bounce house, but we had a generator tied to the back with an electric extension cord going up to the boat to the generator. The generator actually wasn't on. It was the blower that was on the back of the house.
Yeah.
People were getting destroyed, and this girl, Lacey, she's in...
I mean, let's not forget Bryce.
So Bryce Jurgy, shout out to him first of all, just gets his neck almost wrapped around this rope right here.
I didn't even know that this happened until he Twittered us yesterday, and he pointed out this rope, because I didn't even know that. I just thought he fell off.
It looks so bad. You have to watch these things frame by frame, and they look so much worse. So he got pretty lucky, though. He almost got tangled in the rope. It went right over his head. Boom. But this was actually the worst shot. And Carter got this one with the Phantom. Amazing shot.
You can barely see
You can barely see her, but her arms are in there. She's under the tubes in ropes. So as she's just getting thrown around in these ropes back and forth. And this shot's actually longer than what we show. She comes back out of the water. So like she's getting thrown around and then comes out. And then she said before she got on this shoot that if I'm not getting hurt, I'm not having fun. And we're like, cool. That's a good spirit. It's our first video of everyone wants to just be, an awesome shot, and so they give it everything they have. She comes out with like rope burns all up and down her back. It was one of the worst fails that day for sure.
And I will say too, I mean, we don't take this stuff lightly. I feel like talking about it, we're just like, yeah, like they almost got really hurt, and we maybe kind of sound a little dumb, but it's like we take safety really seriously. The ropes, we made sure were tight that they would never wrap. But what was happening is they were getting rope burn as they were going by, which is still dangerous. So after this shot happened, because as you can see, this all happened on the same shot. We split it into two different clips. But we made the adjustments to mostly the driving of the boat to make sure that they would never get slack in the lines and stuff like this wouldn't happen. So we do learn as we go, and we make things safe as we go.
No one's done this, and a lot of the things we do. So it's a lot of trial and error, and some people get hurt and then they don't get hurt later. So you got to kind of figure it out. But these people are willing to put their bodies in harm for us, and we appreciate it.
And it's constantly adjusting, and people are always more important than getting a really cool shot. I know from personal experience because I've dealt with breaking my back before we were making these kind of videos. But we always make sure, especially when it's a potentially like life-threatening stunt, we always bring on the best of the best. Marshall Miller, we use him for a lot of the wingsuiting stuff we do because he is one of the best at that sport. So we don't just bring random people depending on what we're going on. A lot of people say, hey, can I be on your video? We usually don't just open our videos out to everyone, especially if it's a potentially dangerous stunt. So we always keep that stuff in mind. I think it's worth saying earlier on in the video. Spacebar.
Ah,
All right, Dev, talk about this one.
Okay, so our boy Kalen Chan, he is one of the world's best. I think he got ranked 3rd or 4th
Yeah.
at the Red Bull competition. What was it, 4th? I stand corrected. Like,
Thanks, Brando.
Kalen got 4th. Phenomenal athlete. We worked with him a ton. This was the start of day 4 or 5 in Hawaii. We flew him out just for a couple different videos. We did 3 different parkour videos. This is one of them. This was the last one that we had to shoot. It was a follow-up to our last Pokemon Go video. And it was the first jump of the day. So Kalen fully felt confident. They walked through it one time. And it was just some kind of slightly miscalculated jump. And he slightly slipped. And that's when you see exactly what happens. And the sounds you hear in this video are actually the real sounds that happened. And we didn't know if he died or if something got like seriously broken. So I run over there and Kalen's out of breath. So I film him for because you always leave the camera going for 5 seconds. It's kind of the rule of thumb if someone gets hurt. And then we all jumped right down there. We made sure he was safe. We took him straight to a hospital from here. And we made sure that nothing was broken. Nothing was broken. And on the way to the hospital, I called his mom. I'm like, hey, just so you know, this is what has happened. We do have really good insurance. Not that fixes everything, but we do try and take the best care of our athletes if something like this does happen. But he was at a hospital within 30 minutes, or even faster than that.
So
And
was he okay, or did he just get the wind knocked out of him?
he got we thought he had fractured his hand, and he got x-rayed and everything that day within 30 minutes, and he was totally
Yeah,
fine.
100%.
The doctor just gave him a brace and said lay off this for the next couple weeks.
He just bruised it, but
And he is fine. We worked with Kalen since then, and he doesn't feel any issues at all from that. So he's thankfully recovered very well. But yeah, this was a freak moment, but it goes back to filmmaking and having to constantly adjust. So the ending that I wanted to end with was something we had to completely change. But I think the ending that we worked was surprising. You weren't expecting it, and it's fun and exciting at someone else's expense. But we love Kalen. So, Spacebar.
I hate this.
so this one's got to be Carter's. He's the first guy on the scene.
This shoot probably gave me, out of all the stunts we did, this one gave me the most anxiety because this was the one where we're just having our really talented friends who aren't professional blobbers, if you will, or water
Probably better
launchers.
than most people.
The better than anybody we know. But what I want to point out, so Bubba, he went off, got a little disoriented, and came out of his rotation a little early. Should have done 3 flips. Bubba, I don't know what you were thinking. So he does 2 flips, comes out early, and then lands kind of on his stomach, chest area, right out of his face. So what you kind of don't see, and we don't have anything to really showcase this, but right here, you see me on a jet ski. And I will always remember this because people were kind of giving me a little bit of crap because I was just kind of roaming around on the jet ski. I wasn't filming. I was just kind of saying, hey, you're up, kind of barking orders. And they're like, hey, Carter's just supervising on the jet ski. And no joke, the very next jump, this happens to Bubba because usually, the closest people were the people you see right here on the boat. I just happened to be right here, and I'm gonna play it first so you can see what happens. This was all I saw. Was Bubba face down, and I just saw his hands kind of like he was trying to swim, but he didn't know where he was. So then I'll just go back real quick.
It was the saddest thing.
and Devin and I
So
were
crazy.
filming something else simultaneously at part of the time, so we weren't around.
And
for any
instead
this.
of jumping in, I just held the camera and I got that shot of him dying.
And
we
probably the best thing you could have done.
Yeah, I know, right? Because it's good memories, but it's like, do I go or do I get the shot? Devin would say, get the shot. And then he just drowned it.
That didn't happen. So I see Bubba, the jet ski's still going pretty fast, and I yell, help, help, help. Creighton and these guys, they jump out really quick. And as you can see, I just let the jet ski go. And what you don't know is that somebody was over here on the rock and saw the jet ski just cruising towards this wall. They jumped off and actually stopped the jet ski. It was a side story. Nobody cared at that point, but they were like, hey, just so you know, I stopped your jet ski. And
The true hero.
I have no idea who it was. Anyway, so we pulled Bubba out.
Oh, that.
This is 20 seconds later. He just was dazed. He was trying to swim. He wasn't unconscious at all. But,
Pretty concussed, I think.
safety first.
We can say that.
we
good
had
thing- good thing we were there.
Alex there. She was
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
EMTs
EMTs.
there. Checked him out. We didn't make him jump again. Kind of a wuss, but he probably should have jumped more. Just kidding, Bubba. You're the best.
We love you.
So Seth did a back flop on accident from, was it around 90 feet? 85 feet?
I think we're just gonna go with 90. I think
90.
is our best bet.
So, I mean, we're filming our friends doing really cool stuff, but this...
Tyson had, we saw this cliff and we're like, we needed to go somewhere else in a hurry, and we're like, oh, this is visually cool. Let's just hurry and do it. And it for some reason it just looked like 30
We
or
had
40
been there
feet.
for like 4 days, and when we saw this thing, we were like, oh yeah, no problem. When we got up to the top, me, Dakota, and Seth, we all looked down and we're just like, I think this is a little bigger than we anticipated. And so I ended up going first, did my backflip. Seth was next.
Yeah, but I mean, he just had small bruises and walked away and was fine. But which is always a miracle because these
Yeah.
people, I mean, this is a still big fall for anybody, despite who you are.
So it was all about jumping down. And Dakota wasn't there to do cliff jumps, so he ended up jumping. He actually got hurt as well. He just like crushed his lower back a little bit just because of the impact of the water. When you do cliff jumps, you want to jump into broken water, and this was straight concrete, we felt like. So when we hit, even though like mine wasn't a fail, Dakota's wasn't a fail, it felt like a fail. And then Seth, we seriously thought you even hear my voice, as soon as he does his first flip, I knew it was over because he flipped so fast that his rotation was done before he was even at the peak of the cliff. And so I just and I thought he was gonna die.
That's you saying, "Oh no!" Isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, you hear me just go,
Uh-huh.
and then he hits. Oh no, no, no! And we go. Devin goes, "Go save him! Go save him!" We go over there as fast as we can. And we just think he's gonna start sinking. In my mind, because that's such a hard fall. And so we go driving over there, and he's swimming to us. Totally shocked us. And he ended up being okay. He got a huge bruise on his leg though that we can show you. And
Shout out to Seth, because this was 3 times as big as Bubba's fall from the blob.
Yeah.
And he wasn't swimming like, I'm just kidding.
back to Bubba.
No, Seth's a trooper, and I mean, this isn't an ideal thing to capture for a friend, but it is an epic fail. But I don't consider it a fail because to me it was a win. My wife was there with me, and when she saw it, she started crying.
Yeah, scary.
So it was a scary thing.
Probably the worst fail of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Luckily didn't get hurt that bad, but.
But yeah, you can see here, Seth is definitely mad at me saying I took too long to set the shot. Well, we were just trying to hurry as fast as we could.
It was a high intense time for everybody.
Zane will actually credit that shot.
No,
So we were watching this
I
earlier,
didn't
and he
mean it
goes,
that way.
"Oh, I can talk about this shot because I got it."
No.
And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, Zane. Maybe the behind the scenes."
I did catch it on behind the scenes, and that's what I meant. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, Tyson was the one filming there."
Such a good guy.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And these poor kids, man, their ankles.
So they have
They're
ankle braces.
destroyed.
Every single one of them has these giant ankle braces underneath their shoes. This kid who ate it though, he took the brunt of it, like through the whole.
Well, he was
shoot.
going huge.
Yeah, he was always going biggest, and he was like one of the pioneers of this mega pogo stick. Like he was like one of the
Inventing all
pioneers.
the
Yeah,
tricks.
all the names of the
If
tricks
you're
and
into
stuff.
pogo sticking and you learn a new trick, chances are the name came from one of this dude's ex-girlfriends.
And they're so
yeah, he
such
named it after his
funny
ex
names.
girlfriend. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
this one I think he had done it twice before this and didn't land. He would just jump off. This one he tried to, because you hit so hard
Mhm.
that he committed, and he's at the bottom of his pogo just slipped out from
swiped
under
out.
him.
Is
and-
this guy falling too?
And
No,
he
he,
did a front
he did
flip.
it. He
Oh.
did it. He did
So
okay.
he just did a front flip, and they came off of right here. They jumped
It was
right
Daniel.
here, boom,
Daniel.
boom, Daniel.
Daniel.
So anyway, and it was this was the hardest fall. This was the first day too, and he had to go
Yeah.
another 3 days.
Yeah. And actually, surprisingly, he recovered from that a lot quicker, and he
Than a lot of the
smushed
other
his
things.
finger.
Yeah.
He accidentally just smushed his finger barely, and it like it just
And
hurt
look at his
so bad.
knees.
Yeah, look
Watch
at
his
it.
knees.
It's like
They're bending
Whoa.
away they shouldn't.
oh
Like,
wobble.
He should have destroyed his kneecaps, but he got up and actually he ended up doing like the biggest stair
Yeah,
gap there
uh-huh.
after that.
I
Crazy.
think from all the athletes that we work with, I think the pogo stick athletes probably have to deal with the most pain
Okay.
long term. Because every one of them is like, we only have like a shelf life of 3 or 4 years of doing this just because it's so demanding on their bodies. But kudos to them for embracing a sport that is very physically
And
demanding.
there's another shot in here of him doing this.
The
and
front flip
just
finish.
did a front flip
Hey.
and landed on his back, and then goes and does this. All right, Dev, the biggest fail ever.
Okay, we thought this was a weird one. Usually if someone's going to get hurt, it's the very end of the day when all the gnarly stuff is over with, and it's always going to be something random and stupid. That was the case with this. Tim, one of the world's best BMX bikers, in my opinion. End of the day, we just got done with Ford, and he just kind of playing around. While he's playing around, like, hey, let me just film you. and he's going out, and he was just gonna do a little bunny hop off this, and for some reason, whether he's tired or not,
Just goes a little too far left.
and he goes face planting in. His teeth were all bloody. He walked right up, and everyone saw it on the, not everyone, but most people saw it on the crew. So it was, and everyone rushed over there. We checked, inspected him, and for anything we're doing where it has a high risk or potential high risk, whenever it's a brand deal, for sure, we always make sure we have an ambulance and EMT on set. So here we had it where they took a look at him. They took him to the hospital. They x-rayed him. He was completely fine, minus a little bit of blood that was coming from his mouth. But he was actually fine from something like this. And looks much worse, I feel, if you're looking at it in real time, which when it play.
Worthy to show twice.
I told the
Carter.
athletes not
Let's
to
talk
hit
about
me.
this one.
Carter's first fail of the vid.
I didn't even know that was Carter.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Carter. Yeah.
He got wrecked.
I just thought it was some buff guy.
And, okay, these guys are throwing like 90 miles an hour too. They're pros.
It hurt. Like you see stars, and they had already hit me. Like I was already out, and we'd gotten a
Yeah.
shot, and then some second ball
Oh,
comes.
pure
launching
pain
in.
on his face though.
Yeah.
I never knew that was Carter.
Bam. Yeah, he got hit so hard.
I mean, just in school when you play dodgeball and get hit in the face, that sucks. But it's like these guys are like pro dodgeballers.
Are you comparing these guys to a middle school dodgeball?
No, I'm saying how
It's
much
like
that
playing
sucks
against
just
an
getting
MLB
hit by a
pitcher.
kid who can barely throw a ball, and then you get hit by this like.
Yeah, I took it like a champ though.
And then I was filming this. I actually took one ball to the face as well, but being the camera guy, we don't have that on camera. I
put you
blacked
to your
out.
knees.
Yeah, I blacked out for at least 3 seconds. Had no idea what had just happened. But I was just laying on the tramp. Same thing happened to Carter. It's like getting slapped in the face by a gorilla. I think just.
Have you been hit before with?
Yeah,
I was gonna say you can share
just like
In
that.
my experience, that's the closest thing I can relate it to is when I got hit in the face.
That was
there.
relatable. For
Ogle
sure.
Zoo, man. Zane, you gotta talk about this one.
Oh, there's me right there. Oh, and then Devin.
We'll just keep going.
Wait, I want to talk about Zane's because
Yeah,
that was Zane's first week working with us.
Yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
beginning.
And Zane's, I mean,
It's pretty reserved.
I didn't know
Thing
him
is-
at the time, and I was like, I don't even know if this dude is athletic or coordinated because he didn't seem like he wanted to do it, but he knew he had to kind of be, one of the guys. We were out there.
In my old age, man, it's like you
My old
quickly
age.
learn. You're like, I did all that stuff, and I know what hurts. Then, it was still fun. But when this video actually never went live, we never released it. But we released the part where we get pulled over. That was in our vlog.
The
by
cops pulled
police.
us over.
But this was the first wipeout on the sidewalk, and I couldn't stop this thing.
You're
And
flying.
Tyson's getting the shot on a boosted board. But anyways, yeah, and it didn't. It didn't hurt that bad. But
It looks bad.
that
Your
was
face.
actual cement as compared to the supposed cement that you experienced.
the water cement. Oh, that
Yeah,
wasn't
just-
bad.
yeah,
that was
Ollie
a fail.
won.
Yeah,
He's
they
going
didn't
in the
See
boat
that
with
broken water? All right, most dangerous stunt ever.
Yep.
What one?
This.
This.
Oh, this one. Yes. So this one was from our slip and slide off of a cliff. It was the first time it's ever been done. So we didn't even know. I mean, this is a whole another video within itself. If you want to watch that, just make sure to watch the behind the scenes. We'll have a link down below in the description. But this one, we brought in the world's top base jump athletes, some of them, because there's not that many of them. But the ones that they are, we made sure we brought on the best of the best. And what they're doing, they'd never done before, but we did a ton of testing. And there's a couple of them, though, that pulled their parachutes a little too late just because they had a flippy do and kind of pull around that, yeah?
But they also couldn't control how fast they couldn't stop spinning because they're coming off this thing doing a front flip, and instead of just laying out and being able to control your body, they're still flipping mid parachute pull. So they're getting tangled because they're upside down and the parachute comes out and scary moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
whips.
and I think if you talk to any of them, because they would just call this, I just had a hard opening. Like
Yeah.
when the parachute opens and it has to open that fast so they don't hit the ground and it kind of whips their body. But I think in the world of base jumping, this is actually pretty normal, and by all things considered, these were not fails.
Definitely not
Their
a fail.
parachutes
No.
opened
No,
and
no.
they safely went down. It just looked like a really hard impact, and it was. You see his whole body rip
Well,
around.
and they didn't have shirts and stuff on to usually help.
Oh yeah, they
cushion
were
that.
getting a little cut
Uh-huh,
up.
They were getting on their straps.
For us novices, though, that don't film base jumping each time, for us, it's a miracle every time you hear that parachute open.
Yeah.
They'll go off and and then you breathe again once you hear that parachute. But they're completely used to it. If it really was a base jump fail, it wouldn't be in this video because you don't walk away from a fail with base jumping. And we'll hit spacebar. We got Shonduras out here busting it off.
Real quick, no, this was I was the only one on this shoot. And shout out to High on Life boys. This is Alexi on the front. This is Hayden. This is Strat. And then you got Bubba down here. And then you got Parker and Riker. These guys were crazy. This is the first time we went down on this thing. Why this is even in here, you don't even notice. But Alexi broke his ankle. We're pretty sure it broke. But he hit so hard right here, this ankle rolls. Boom! And then watch it just stay stiff and he's out. He's like, I'm done.
He was unconscious?
No, he just was like, he couldn't, his leg just went completely numb. But he
Did you guys take
he
him to
was
the hospital?
done the rest of the day. He didn't end up going to the hospital till later. They were from Vancouver. But then they ended up going again and again. Alexia ended up sitting out the rest of the trip. But we got Riker and Parker who did crazy things as well. But yeah, that was very sketchy.
I didn't even know
very
that.
Sketchy trip, yeah.
Then we got Fun for Louie just getting run over by the Zorb. Some of these we actually, they were educated guesses on them not getting hurt, so we made sure they were set up to be failed videos or failed shots.
That's not a fail.
Got to get those drone crashes in there.
If you can hit a drone out of the air with a wiffle ball, message me. I want to see it.
Yeah.
First try?
Yeah,
Yeah, credit was
Was it really?
100%. First try.
Yeah, and the ball just hit right in the center
Yeah,
of the
right.
drone.
I was like, oh wait, you want me to put the ball in the little racket? I thought I was trying to.
trying to destroy a drone here. He did. Backflops, we love those.
Dakota
Dakota
eats it.
got wrecked on that
That
one.
one wasn't even meant, just happened.
Yeah. Belly flops, again. Backflops. Not
Tying
really a fail,
strat.
but it's a good shot.
Oh, Alex.
This one was a gnarly
She got
one.
just as hurt as Bubba.
Yeah, she did, but she didn't get knocked out. But
She had a gnarly bruise.
Her face like exploded too, like she had a big old swollen.
Yeah.
You see me right
ball.
here supervising.
There he goes again.
yeah, there's-
Without a life jacket.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
We're gonna have to.
Put that in post.
Safety
Put that
first.
on in post.
And this is a great little slow motion sequence.
We have the Phantom Miro camera. Should we do a lot of stuff at 1500 frames per second or 1000?
Ooh.
That one was an accident
Yeah,
one that
trip.
you're seeing there, and she just got a couple little bruises. But
Real explosions though.
This is where
There's
he ate
another
it
one.
after, yeah.
Belly flop.
Strat, right here.
He has the most fails in this.
Yeah, this is the first time we ever met Strat. I was on a Mountain Dew shoot like 4 years ago, roughly. And he was like, he kept on coming to us and said, Devin, I'll do whatever you need. And he was just so excited because he said, I've been big fans of your guys' videos for a long time. And I mean, this is out in Florida. And I was like, can you do a gainer to belly flop? And he's like, sure, I'll do it. And he was like so excited to do a gainer to backflip. And that's exactly what he pulled off. So this was like meant to be. And then after this shoot, we became super good friends with Strat. And he's been working with us as a freelancer ever since then. So a lot of these people we end up becoming really good friends with. And this is like a prime example of that. He was willing to do a gainer.
What I think is so cool too about Strat is like he wasn't from Utah. A lot of people think, oh, you have to be from Utah or whatever. And he wanted to change his life. He knew he wanted to follow Devin, and it's boosted him as far as meeting other friends and more opportunities for him.
He's
So-
like invited to everything we
Yeah.
shoot because he's just
a
when
hard
he falls,
worker,
he
too.
falls professionally. Like he doesn't get hurt. He's in a lot of our fail videos this fail video because he just knows how to put his body in harm's
he's also
I
just a
forgot
hustler and a go-getter,
the
man.
Barbie Jeep one.
Yeah, that's the
That was
biggest
a
thing.
Great one.
Completely hustler, go-getter. I mean, we had 100 people there that all would love to keep on working with us, but Strat just stood out because he was just a go-getter, and he was trying to help not just do the stunts, but however he could tell the story we wanted to tell, he was right on it. So just a word for the advice, if you're trying to work with somebody, do whatever you can to kind of get their attention by helping build up what they're doing, and Strat was doing exactly that.
Just be safe.
Another one of
Another
those.
one of those.
This looks painful, man.
Yeah, that one looks gnarly.
So this is Dakota. This is the first day. This is the same shoot of where we just saw High on Life guys getting wrecked. This is the first day. We had just shown up, didn't know what to expect. Dakota, I think, was the second one to go down, and he ended up losing all control. As you can see, you're supposed to be going straight, and he broke a torch paddle
Oh, I didn't
right
even
there.
notice that.
So he's dragging it. He's trying to like get straight, and he's just pulling as hard as he can. And when he hits, you can see. He does a full-on barrel roll, and all of his his helmet goes off, his gloves,
Man.
his the torch paddle goes everywhere. Everyone, and we're supposed to be really quiet. This is not something we were supposed to be doing, and it was in a neighborhood. So everyone in here is just like,
Oh no! Oh no! Get it! And they jump in, and everyone's like, "Shit!"
Dakota ended up being okay. Oh yeah, Carter.
Nothing to see there. Just
Just let
Shameful.
a guy that can't hold on to a rope.
Not a real fail.
No, not real fun. Just part of the shoot. It's fun.
That guy was the best at that.
New
More
Zealand.
jet surf fails.
Oh man, this looks painful.
Oh!
Let me talk about that just for a couple of seconds. So, barefoot skiing, incredible experience. Afterwards, they're like, you and Todd, who is the head owner of Vue, you guys have to do this. So we're like, okay, they made it look easy for 3 days straight. So they put us on, and this is the first thing that happened to both me and Todd.
How fast are you going?
You're going 45 to 50 miles per hour.
Boom.
There's a funny story with that girl, but
Let's tell it, Zane.
You got to be there to see it.
yeah, well, it's funny because like she was going off with all of her friends were gonna do it. Everyone's kind of scared to do it, and her friends bailed on her, so they just let her
Oh, yeah.
take the full swing, and so
And she didn't make it.
no, and she just eats it, and she
Obviously.
was so mad at her friends. There's lots of expletives
Oh.
that were
And
shouted.
look at these two guys in the
Yeah, I
background.
just
Just
noticed
totally. They wanted to be in the shot.
So, Steph, you know that's frame by frame. Their claim to fame right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they see this.
Fails that aren't too gnarly. That was a fake one, the run over.
So here's another example of
Oh,
someone.
yeah.
See how he's mid flip? This is Carson, right? Caleb?
Yeah, I think it's Carson.
It's Carson Klein. Maybe he doesn't.
So he
know.
does. This is his first jump. Yeah, that's true. We'll talk about it. So he flips. He's ready to pull his chute, but he's still got momentum. He's upside down. Chute comes out. Sketchy.
Definitely the sketchiest opening we had on that shoot.
Mhm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh.
Foot to mouth.
Those reactions.
So, Michaela really kicked him. That was a real fail. She wasn't supposed to kick him, and she kicked him pretty hard.
Still experiences.
First piece of equipment I ever broke. Freak accident. Just hit right into the handle right here as I rolled my ankle on a pothole.
Do it for you guys.
All right, Dad. This is
Oh,
your
Dad.
moment to shine.
This is my proudest moment I've had kind of on film. Because I normally don't do gnarly stunts, but this one was... But this one was an exception. I'm like, this is pretty gnarly. I'm going to do it with the
I'm
camera.
gonna handle this 50-foot slide into.
And I mean, it's a 40-foot drop. So
Yeah, super gnar.
with a
How fast are you
super
going,
hard
man?
landing at the
I'm
bottom.
going very fast.
Being like bitty.
So you're going to notice when you're going that fast, and we're doing it frame by frame because it's hard to see what's going on if we play it in real
It looks
time.
slower, but it's way fast.
But I made a mistake, and I was one of the first people to go down this. And when I went down it, I was wearing flip-flops, and my foot got to the bottom, and it didn't keep on sliding. My foot got stuck, and my body went forward. So I actually tore all the ligaments in my foot. They took me straight to the hospital after it. It looks like such a stupid
And
thing.
you can hear me and Dakota laughing at Devin like, ha 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 ha, and then he ends up looking like that.
You
I'm
look
pale,
like
too.
death warmed
Yeah.
over,
But this
man.
is like, this was like 20 minutes of wondering if Devin's okay because he wouldn't talk. He was just
Isolated
completely
there.
ghost pale.
Yeah, go back to the shot before this.
Yeah.
Because you actually look coherent in this shot.
Yeah. So he sat against the ball pit for quite a while. We're kind of like trying to
Right
get some
there.
words out of Devin, but he's
Oh.
not telling us. And the security guard that was right there, I think he was also an EMT or something, but he was like, yeah, he's not going to be able to walk, obviously.
Yeah, and this was the first, well, not the first, this was one of the first shots we were getting of the entire day. This was a commercial for Mini Wheats that I was directing. So this is my big break, and I get there, and I'm just getting one super stupid, simple shot. I don't even know if it made the cut. And this happens, and I'm completely out. So I'm like, Dakota, Tyson, you guys just take over and make it happen. And I spend like 4 hours at the hospital while they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then that's when they figure out my ligaments aren't torn, but I didn't break anything. But they said it was almost worse having all your ligaments torn. But it is what it is. And then I was on crutches for a couple months at least. And then Mike Tyson started kind of overseeing everything that we were doing as far as shooting. And we tried to make it look like this never happened because we didn't want to lose brand deals as far as people thinking, oh, Devin's not around. So we never vocally or publicly said anything about what had happened for a long time. So
Yeah, we actually got on the carnival shoot and they're like, hey, so Devin's limping and Tyson's running the camera? I'm like, Yeah, no, I mean Devin's the director, so that's how it always is.
Yeah, that's normal.
So you just have to act confident, act like everything is going as planned when it's not going as planned at all. But yeah, I felt super stupid on this, and I don't know how we would have prevented it. Maybe just not gone on the slide, or I should have worn shoes too, and that would have helped.
Maybe Devin just shouldn't do dangerous stunts anymore.
Yeah, this was sketch.
Yeah, this was super sketch. So I just decided from now on I'll just do tamer stunts. And luckily I had Dakota to carry me.
As lame as like this King of the Hill thing looked, it was seriously one of the sketchiest things we did. People got so hurt.
Yeah,
And
he
this
cracked
was
his
the
head
worst one.
open right here. There's blood on
And you
his
don't
forehead.
notice unless I freeze framed it. You just it looked like he just rolled off, but he hit his head so hard, and your
But he kept
legs
on
are
playing.
exposed.
He did.
You're just getting your legs ripped up. Bubba got a huge scratch, and he even says like to the behind the scenes he doesn't like what he's doing, and he's like, I'd rather just go do the blog. And this was the day after he just did what he did when Carter saved him, and then he's like, I'd rather be doing the blob again than do this simple stunts, kind of like the Kittle.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Right?
Another
Or-
sketchy
Took
opening.
him forever to get around.
Yeah.
But he didn't have a hard opening, so.
And even though it looks like they're super close to the ground, they're still fairly high up to open the parachute safely. But just because of the stunt, we want to open it as fast as possible. Those were all...
Oh, he had a helmet on, so he was fine.
Yeah, we'll just breeze over that.
And Braxton cranked open his head. on that
Yeah.
Yeah, Braxton thought it was fine.
That was from the very first video that we ever did. As far as that went viral, the bike jumped into a pond, and we had several people. We were using a bike that was broken, so the handlebars would all of a sudden slip out, and you'd have no control. So in this shot, his handlebars broke, so he had no way of turning the bike.
one. Oh man.
So that's what you see here.
Yikes.
Jump has wrecked a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Oh, tight.
Hey, this guy's famous.
He
Maddie,
is famous.
Maddie, shout out to you, Maddie Johnson.
Yeah, Matthew Johnson from Australia.
He was the Bachelor. This guy right
In
here.
Australia, right?
He's the Bachelor in Australia, and he was just finished the season. Anyway, we were doing
Found
this.
true love.
Funniest part about this is that you don't notice because I cut too late, but I'm on the top of this restaurant. That's me right there. I was standing right here, and Matt was standing right here, and Devin's doing a countdown, and we were just sitting there. I had to hurry because I had all these people right here yelling at me, "Get off the roof!"
Because we didn't have permission, right?
No, we just finished lunch, and we're like, "Okay, we got to swim back to our boat," which was the coolest restaurant. And I'm just standing here, and as soon as I heard Devin counting, I jumped up on the roof, thinking he was counting for me. Maybe he was counting for Matt. We don't really know.
We
both,
didn't know either.
No one knew. It was just like, get off the restaurant as fast as we could. So I jump off, and I had jumped just a second earlier. So Matt jumps off, and he's like, "Oh no!" I had no idea he was above me, but I hit the water.
Look at that form.
It's all good. I'm good.
You can-
And
he's just worried.
you
He's
can
like-
tell he's kind of falling like with his legs cocked to the side, and then I just heard this big above my head, and I just remember thinking, "What was that?" And I come up out of the water, and he's sitting next to me. He's like, "I almost just landed on you," and I'm like, and I was kind of pissed. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That was my jump." But anyway, it's all in good fun, and he's famous now, and we love him to death. Super cool guy.
It all started from this video.
Tyson's entertained the person who's entertained 1,000 people.
I like
That's
it.
an office reference.
From Dwight.
This is a fail.
Can we cut Zane's audio feed?
Anytime he comes on, it's just
Our boy Aaron. Legend. Some more fun fails. Nothing too serious.
bounce house.
What was that? Was it a fish?
No, it looks like it, right?
A
Yeah.
fish or a water balloon.
Before the shot, you see Strat got a wet towel, and he was like, "Shh," behind the camera.
A
Runs out
fish?
there. It looks like
I thought
It
it was
looks
a
like a
fish.
fish. yeah.
It's actually pretty funny, and he just threw it at Dakota's faces without him even knowing. This is actually right before he just yard sailed.
This is crashing a $10,000 drone on his first flight.
Devin didn't tell us for weeks.
Yeah, he was living in Hawaii. We had no idea.
I had to send it in to get it fixed, and it sucked though.
Everyone loved
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
part.
they say this isn't a fail.
And they're like, "Hey, that's not fun. That's the best save ever,"
Yeah,
which it is.
it is.
It
amazing.
is.
Like,
Because none of that
so-
shit
It's like
happened.
spider reflexes, man. Spider-Man stuff.
He's like,
Boom.
"Yeah, got this."
Ooh.
Sean Burris.
Planned crashes.
Hey, Kratos.
Creighton.
Back at it.
These are all planned crashes because the camera's perfectly in position
Yeah.
to capture it. So
The extra roll really gave this fake crash.
Yeah.
Right. Boom.
Oh. Carter's finest.
Oh, that's a real story.
This is a real story worth talking about. So, shooting all day, near the end of the day, Lee was just going to jump up and land in the exact same spot. And on accident, he leaned too far back, and that's what you see. And then he falls down a trench with like spikes and crazy rocks sticking up. Luckily, our stunt guys, Braxton, was like, maybe we should have someone down there to catch him in case he falls.
Like without even telling us.
Yeah, he just jumps down there.
Sets up
So luckily for us and for Lee, there was someone down there to pick him up.
Well,
You can see, like, our
there
faces.
was a pad down. We
Yeah,
had,
there was a pad down
there
there.
was a pad, but then Braxton was like, I don't want him just to fall on the pad because he's never fallen on that pad before. So then he went down there.
And what's funny though is Carter didn't know that Braxton was down there at all. So what happened to you?
I mean, you see me standing behind the camera. I'm looking at the monitor, so I don't see. And maybe from the monitor you couldn't see Braxton either. But I mean, he
couldn't see him.
He just fell down a pit, and it was like Lee was gone.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Lee was done.
But he was totally fine, and Lee was like laughing afterwards in pure hope.
Can't believe it.
Oh, shout out to Jose. Give him
Yeah.
stat.
Flop.
Shit was
Yeah,
brutal.
he was getting wrecked.
Everyone loves flops. Let's watch that one again.
Oh, I hate that shot.
I think this made the cut twice, didn't it?
Yeah.
This was a complete. I didn't want to talk about it earlier, but since it came back to haunt me, this was a completely out of body experience. I was going around, and I don't know if I knew or not he was gonna lift me in the air, but I wasn't like focused on like, okay, I need to squeeze tight. I was just kind of hanging out, having a good time, and then all of a sudden he revved up the engine, and I remember just this out of body experience of like, all of a sudden my hands went like this, and I was like, oh. I'm gonna fall. Yep, there they go. And like I had no control over it. They just slowly slipped away. Luckily,
Andy Sims took the brunt of it.
yeah, my skis hit Andy Sims directly in the shins, but he had snowmobiling boots on, which are super hard. So that's what you hear. That loud sound is my skis hitting his boots. Everyone was super solid. I remember laying down there and my hat pulled over my eyes and I was in darkness and I just was like feeling my hip. I was like, because I dislocated my hip like a year and a half before this and I landed right on it. I was like, nope, yep, we're good.
And I
Yeah.
didn't catch it. Watch me, I didn't film it. I was too scared.
Oh, neither
for
did
my
I.
life, dude. We both
we thought we were gonna get hit.
Yeah, so we both like pull away. But luckily there was
Nick
this
Carter,
third
of
camera.
course. Did you get it? Oh, yeah, Carter, I got it. Luckily, you were getting the long shot, right?
Yeah, I was getting the long shot. One thing to
You
remember.
can always trust Devin to get the fail.
Yeah.
Always. Never stop the camera. And this is like, it sounds like selfish, but people will be mad at you if they get hurt and you don't catch it on camera. Maybe not in the moment, but within like a couple of days, they're going to be mad at you. So the rule is, unless they're going to like die, always keep the camera rolling. So that's kind of the rule of thumb that we have at Team Supertramp. And then that was just a couple little fails at the end. This is all playing during the end card. We've got our boy Jigga. And that is the end of our fail video. So this we want to start doing more of as far as commentaries on the videos that we shoot and kind of explain the process of why we're choosing certain shots, why we're doing certain shots, and just the whole theory behind everything that we're creating. We want this to be a full-on experience that we as Team Supertramp are going to be heavily involved with. So just know that we have a lot more of these coming. We would love anything you guys have in the comments for suggestions for videos like this that you guys want to see. Make sure to leave it down below in the comment section right now. Make sure subscribe, turn on notifications, and following us on the new app that we just became a new person on called Vero.
Vero. We're all
Carter.
about it.
Hey, yeah, Vero.
Vero,
Right?
woo!
Am I right? Oh, wait, Carter.
Oh, Carter.
Have you
Vero, Instagram, Twitter. There's so many things. Don't worry about it. I'll have links down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Over and out.
What the is Vera?